Okay, welcome to a very late, uh, I guess, reaction talk through of the Fate slash Strange Whispers of Dawn TV movie. I'm not going to do much editing in this one. It's me talking just about how I feel because I am a very big Fate slash Strange fan. So, I'll you just if you just want to listen, you can do that. Treat this more like a podcast, something you can have in the background. You can listen to me stumble and cough because I'm still a bit sick. But I guess for those who just want a quick TLDR before I get into the rest of the video, should you watch Fate slash Strange TV movie? It, I think if you're a fan of the source material, you shouldn't. If you aren't, you could watch it, but I would still recommend reading the light novels or the manga. So yeah, there you go. Let's get to I guess what I like as a fan, and then we can talk about my problems. Like, okay, I just realized my notes are so a mess. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, they're all over the place. Right, so dubbed only for the West release on Crunchyroll. Absolutely fucking stupid. Why? I think they did release the sub later, but like initially it was dub only, and it's like, oh, why are you making the premiere dub? It was nice though to have a non-official way to do it because I did end up pirating it. Fuck Crunchyroll! I'm not giving Crunchyroll my money, cunts. But yeah, no, dub is bad. The dubbing is really bad. There's only been two times I thought the dub actually did something well, and I'm not going to name those two times, but this was definitely not one of those two times. It definitely ruined a lot of the mood for me watching the dub, because I watched the dub first because I was impatient, and then I watched the sub a day later, and I liked the sub a lot more. But if I'm going to give the dub any praise, the only good voice actor was Jester. Forgot his last name. Jester, the Dead Apostle. I really liked his voice actor. In fact, I think Jester was one of my highlights, just because of the voice actor. Just in the dub moment, at least. Like the sub did certain moments better. No, I'm gonna resist talking about that for now. But no, dub's terrible. Fucking absolute fucking horseshit. And let's see, what's next? Animation. This was Studio A1. They did Fate slash. They did the Fate slash APOC anime. I know that. I need to check what else they did. I think they did Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah, A1 Pictures. I'm just going quickly. They did Fairy Tail. They did Working. Ohana, Blue Exorcist. I'm just listing stuff that people might know. Sword Art Online. They did two Magi. Magi. That series. No one remembers Magi, do they? They did. They did Black Butler, which actually had good animation. And yeah, no, but like in terms of Fate stuff, they done Fate slash APOC, and they did Unlimited Blade Works. And to give them credit, I liked the animation in both of those a lot. Oh no, wait, they didn't do Unlimited Blade Works. Okay, never mind, they didn't do Yeah, I don't see Unlimited Blade Works listed here. Must have misremembered. That was probably you for Dobo. But no, they did APOC. APOC's highlight for me was the fight scenes, and spoiler alert, the fight scene. Well, this is actually all spoilers, so I don't know why you're watching this. I guess yeah. For now on, it's guess it'll be spoilers. But yeah, no, like they did Fate slash Epoch, and I really loved the fight scenes in Fate slash Epoch. It was easily the best scene in Fate slash Epoch, which doesn't sound like it should be a compliment, considering the quality of Fate slash Epoch. But Fate slash Epoch's fight scenes were absolutely stunning. And for the one fight scene we got in this, I thought it was stunning. Oh, I guess uh Fake Assassin intro also was kind of a fight scene. At least the way they animated her using the other techniques. But no, but thinking, sorry. The art style for me though, it was kind of shit. It felt like it was trying to copy the manga's art style, very rough looking. I feel like it didn't work. It's a style, that's for sure. It's just not a style I think works for the animation. Um, Apart from that, it has its moments. It's yeah. Although once again, I failed to see the justification for it being animated. Like an argument I always had against at manga adaptations of no anime adaptations of manga I like, and I said this in Hellsing, is for me to like an anime or to justify an anime's existence to me, it has to be an elevation of the original product. Like just not animating it is enough, right? And Hellsing Ultimate did that. Just spoil it. It definitely elevated the product through animation. Just it wasn't just retracing. And there was moments in this series where I thought, wow, this elevates the product. But there was also moments where I was like, why did you cut this out? Because you kind of like it's kind of hindering the quality of the work, if I'm just gonna say that. I guess if I'm gonna keep praise going, in terms of animation highlights to me for this, well, aside from the fight, that was absolutely fucking stunning. Jester's whole scene, the little details that added to Jester's scene was amazing. Like, I think a moment that really stood out to me was them actually showing him changing his heart. Because if you don't know anything about Jester, he has the 6 heart revolver. But like I said, spoilers. But yeah, like him opening his shirt, him sticking his fucking finger into the hole where one his heart is, it just physically changing his, like moving it, the revolver in his chest. I guess you can say it was. It was like that was the moment that fucking hooked me. I was like, wow, this is such a great moment, and like I said, that was why that Jester moment was a standout for me. The other standout moment for me was Francesca Prelati. And just as a quick side note, the fact that we have to wait 34 minutes for about like 2 to 3 minutes worth of Francesca Prelati, who I may remind you is still the best character in Fate slash Strange, maybe even within the entirety of Fate canon. We only got 3 minutes though. And to be honest, she rocked the absolute 3 minutes. In the sub, the dub actor was absolutely terrible. Why did I get pinged? So I got pinged for something. You gotta check what it is. Oh, it's just Des being come. Never mind. No, alright, so but going back to my train of thought. Right, Francesca Pilati's like whole, I guess we can call it a rant or a scene, was amazing. I think because it is just because they did this, they did what they did with Jester, with the Jester scene, and they added to it, and that's why I like that scene so much. Like there's little things she does that makes it so more interesting, like her climbing onto the table or sitting on it, and then she does like a flip on the table to stand on it, knocking over the lamp, and then it starts to bend over, talking to Orlando with the light casting a shadow in the background, a big fading shadow. it really emphasized like how I guess powerful Francesca is in a way. And yeah, no, I it was like that was the highlight for me, not just because it was Francesca, but it was just really good overall. And if I'm going to give animation shout outs, Pair absolutely stunning. Not as good as the manga, but I found this version of Pair to be how do I put it? Eerily beautiful. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It is very eerily beautiful. Okay, right, and I guess I can talk about the sound effects work and the soundtrack. So for me, sound effects. I don't usually talk about this sort of thing, especially when I talk about anime. Because for me, a good sound effect does its job. So, like for me to talk about it, it's either astonishingly bad to the point it's noticeable, or it's so good I want to talk about it. Sound effects, it was serviceable. Though I think I'm only mentioning this because some of Wolf's sound effects just didn't sound right. I don't know. It was definitely noticeable and discomforting. Maybe because I just didn't like hearing Wolf in pain. So that was something. What can I talk about here? Oh yes, okay. Um, Soundtrack though. I didn't notice this until we got to Fake Caster Alexander Drumus scene. Um, it was like wow, this is a really good soundtrack going in the background, and then I go and check. Um, and then like on the sub, I pay attention to the soundtrack again, like more closely, and I realized wow, each kind of like piece they played, well, it doesn't overall fit thematically across both artists, songs, well, whatever you want to say. Um, I like that each piece of theme not only sounded good, it did fit the character. Like having like this kind of like not lo-fi, like this kind of like hip hop rap beat playing in the background for Alexandra. I don't know why I'm using him as an example, but no, his music was amazing. I really liked it. It very fits his character, considering how much of a fucking dude bro he is. That's a set of words I wish to never describe a servant to be, but yeah, no, Alexander Jonas, the author of Monte Cristo, is a dude bro. Um, but yeah, alright, I guess moving to things like disliked. I guess this goes hand in hand. The pacing was terrible, and I think the pacing was terrible because they removed a lot from this. Because the TV movie covers like the first 7 to 9 chapters. I think it's more accurately 8. Actually, no, because we don't get the saber reveal. I think it's first 6 then. After, oh, I won't check now. Um, but no, like there was things missing that definitely ruined some scenes for me. Like, for example, Sabaki's scene. Like, Sabaki doesn't get that much screen time, so we don't really get this emphasis on how shitty Sabaki's parents are. So that definitely, I feel like for a new viewer, they won't get the context of it, of how shitty they are, because they deliberately put plague bacteria in their own daughter to the point she's fucking comatose, and then you're like, and then we're missing the whole hospital scene where they're talking to the doctor and like, are her reproductive organs still working? And we're talking about like this fucking 8-year-old girl. And it just makes you realize how shitty these people are. And it's like you don't get that in the animation. Like they briefly mention it with them mentioning Tsubaki's reproduction organs, but you kind of have to gather that what they're planning to do with that from like context or just thinking, and like it just took away from the Sparky intro. Wolf not having the Wolf narration during his scene definitely took away from it. At least it was first person. I really like that. No, we won't talk about that. We'll save that for a little bit later. Jester works. Yeah, I just wish it wasn't split into two. They did split some shit in half. Like Gilgamesh was beginning, middle, end. And we're still missing some of the stuff there. Flat stuff works. We just it's kind of fucking boring. I think it was just because there was a lot of standing around and talking, and I think the dub actors did make it better. It was a little better in the sub, but it was still a lot of standing around and talking. For the flat scenes, I definitely understand why no one liked. No one really liked the London. Like, I feel like the situation in London with Flat and Lord Elmore or Waver definitely took up the most screen time, unfortunately. The Faria stuff, they kind of all crammed it in the end. I kind of wish they spaced that out over the course of the thing instead of having Gilgamesh being spaced out, because that definitely took away from it. And I get why they did that though, because they want Gilgamesh to start, because Gilgamesh is like the most iconic character in this series coming out of Fate. So it makes sense, I guess they want to start on Gilgamesh. But then, like, it just coming back to Gilgamesh around the middle is like. And then, because then they have it at the end, they can have that teaser fight of Inkiryu and Gilgamesh. And you know what? That, like I said, that fight is amazing, but with the way how it's paced, and just the fact we're missing a lot of context, trying to force it to fit into that 1 hour time mark. I just have to say this, and this is the reason why I really dislike it. It feels like an ad. It feels like an advertisement. So I feel like it can't really stand on its own merits yet, because it's the prelude. We don't have the full context. Because, you know, at the same time they dropped this, they announced the TV anime series. You know, I'm fucking excited for the TV anime series. I'm so happy. But at the same time, I feel like there's no reason to watch this until then. And that's why I'm really just not a fan of this animation at the end of the day. Like I said, it has its moments, but those moments were good because, once again, I'm a fan of this material. I wanted to see that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a Debbie Downer. Like, two of my friends, they're into Fate, and they don't know anything about Fate So Strange. They went and watched this. They watched the sub, and they came back and went, "Oh, we liked it." So I don't. Maybe because of my perspective, I feel like you shouldn't watch it. It seems like it's something people like if you don't know anything about Fate So Strange. If you do like Fate So Strange, sure, watch it, I guess. Just don't really expect much. Just expect it to be sold to you as an advertisement. Especially considering the fact, and this really fucking boiled my blood. You know how, like, Richard and Ayaka was kind of being used as, like, the advertisements and, like, the trailers, and they were using the announcement of the anime? What really pissed me fucking off was they saved that for a 5-second teaser at the end. And it's like, it's post credits too, so it just made it worse. Because we're not watching a fucking Marvel movie, alright? Okay, that one is petty, but I don't know. It's just I wasn't a fan of just, especially because it's Richard and Ayaka. They are like the protagonists of the series. Unfortunately, like, I know I said in my initial Fate Slash Strange review, the great appeal of Fate Slash Strange is not knowing who's gonna win. But let's be honest, it's a Fate series. Saber's gonna win. And you know, I hope to be proven wrong. I don't want Ayaka and Richard to win this war, but fuck off, phone. Um, no, something I really disliked. Well, I guess one something I really dislike is that I guess you can say what are supposed to be our main characters. Ugh. They just they're just teased at the end. You know, like I know, like in the manga, we don't really follow them. It's kind of everywhere, but I definitely feel like Ayaka and Rigid are the main characters in a more traditional sense. If we're supposed to force them into the traditional role, and just having them come up then really kind of soured my mood, and maybe that's why I'm so bitter. But yeah, no, I cannot, like I said, I cannot recommend this if you're a fan of Fate. Like, if like honestly, if you can, if you're capable of holding back, watch this when we get the animated series. Like, watch this first, and then watch the animated series, like fairly back to back. I think watching this now will only just make you a little sour that you now have to wait half a year, maybe a year for the animated series. But yeah, no, man, man. I'm just happy that because of the animated series, there's gonna be more of Francesca, so it just increases the chances of Francesca Prelati getting into the game or the Fate Slash. It just so I turned into about my hobby. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to working on those videos because I'm also working on some other stuff as well that isn't related to the channel, but well, I should probably pace myself a bit better. So, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you for next week. Shark Week starts next week, right? When does Shark Week start? I forgot. I need to get the other half of that script done. Yeah, when? What day is Shark Week? Oh, it starts on the 11th. Fuck, it is next week. It starts on Tuesday. I'll just release it on Monday. Yo, I got shit to do. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.